We continue to
Look
hear.
at me when I'm talking to you. Shut up. Cam, you fired me. After I lost the belt to Holden, you fired me. You know why? Do these people want to know why I was fired from ALW? Because you ain't shit. No, Cam. No, Cam. That's because you owe me. I wrestled as your champion for the longest time, and I didn't receive one paycheck. This guy got paid. Everybody in the back got paid. Heck, even Ref Justin got paid. You don't think I deserve it? Who said that? Yeah, you said that? Well, guess what? I deserve it. I was your champion. I helped put this company on the map. So you shut your mouth. And in that meeting, you told me everybody in this company deserved more than me.
Oh.
You think this guy deserves anything in this company? He's only here because of me. And you know that, and everybody back there knows that, Cam. Trey, I can't help but notice, but your mama's sitting right there.
Ooh, you invoked the mama.
Your mother, for the first time, decided to show up to one of your events. Cam, sorry, Trey. I hate to break it to you, bud. You're nothing without me. And Rachel, I see you right there. We've had many conversations about wrestling with Trey.
Ooh, Rachel. It ain't Rachel from Friends either.
And all I can say is you raised
I might want to
a
talk
talentless, fat piece of crap who deserves nothing because he walked in day one. It was fed from a silver spoon. You didn't earn anything, Trey. And everybody else in that back doesn't deserve anything either. Holden Holloway, your ALW champion.
Ooh.
I beat him. And he cannot live with the fact that I beat him. So what does he do? He wanted me to get fired. That's the only reason, Cam. I took his championship. Holden lost his passion. You'll see it here tonight. Holden has no passion when it comes to wrestling. The only passion in this company is me. And Cam, you rule. And everybody else. Isaac. Well, guess what? Weaver, that's a name you'll never hear again here in ALW because he is too scared to show up and fight like a man. And Justin, Jerry, you all in the back, you're 40 years old thinking that you're 25, and you're way past your prime, and you don't know when to retire.
There are certain champions in certain organizations that might want
to break it to you,
but
look
not in
out.
ALW.
Well, that's your fault, not mine. So I recommend you shut your mouth. And last, but certainly not least, Big Man Cam.
Ooh, Jacob Collins taking notes.
Everybody talks about me being the ultimate betrayer. Everybody talks, oh, Judas betrays everybody. First of all, go cry about it, you little crybabies. Second off, Cam, if I betrayed anybody, you've done twice that. You gave up on ALW. You made this your baby. And what did you do? You quit. You wanted to pursue greener pastures.
Ooh, I think Indiana and Michigan will have to bring up.
You took ALW from me. And now, I'm going to make it my mission to take ALW back from you. Because I will fear no evil. Because I am. That's evil.
Ladies and gentlemen, boy.
All your fault, Cam. You did this. You did that. You did everything in the back. It's all your fault.
Getting personal, Big Man Cam.
Oh,
This is just.
God, you.
That kick is heard right through the world right there. Boom. Wait a minute.
sorry.
Break out.
You did this. It's all your fault.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't want to piss off a big man like him.
Here. And there's Big Man Cam getting him with some severe shots, severe punches there, and Judas is going down. Boy, is he going down right now, and it's certainly getting on here. You can hear this all throughout the state of Ohio. Big Man Cam and Judas are going back and forth, and look at that sort of mini lariat clothesline, and you can see Big Man Cam is getting on the offense. He has had enough of Judas. Boy, it looks like now Judas is certainly going to be damned on this one. And boy, look at this man, Judas. I mean, this is certainly going to be everybody will be talking about who ALW is here now.
Talking shit on the microphone.
Big Man Cam is
That's
big.
it.
He's big.
You can't match me in the ring.
Oh, and he's big. And it looks like he may be down for the count. It looks like
You're
he's
done, Judas.
been down. But now we see Judas getting his offense back in, and he does the cheap, underhanded tactic, but it works. He gets the big man down, and now we see Judas is about to go on the offense, and boy, he is certainly. They're not going to be calling him Judas. They're going to be calling him Benedict Arnold after about what he's going to do, not only to the kid, but to Big Man Cam. And Big Man Cam might as well want to stay down here because he is going to be stealing shots for a few days. Ooh. And that's started. And he looks like he's got him in some type of sleep or so-called. And Big Man Cam might as well just pass out here and just say, you know what? Maybe forget about wrestling Jacob Collins because Judas is about to do a number on him. Obviously, you go to All Legendary Wrestling for more information. Go support them. Go support the group. And the kids are getting mad. Those kids are getting really mad right now.
Passion. He won't come out.
You can't be talking. You don't either.
Oh boy, it's getting on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it's about to certainly kids do not try this at home. Let me repeat, do not try this at home. And Big Man Cam is going to be feeling this for a couple of weeks. Literally a couple of weeks. How about here? Here we go. And Trey Mysticality, I mean, obviously you're seeing it. You got to live this. You're unfortunately reliving this. But this just shows what Judas is going to do to anybody that gets in his way. And this is just, it's just going to be brutal.
This entire thing was just disgusting out of Judas. That's not the guy I used to know. That's the guy I used to know is dead. I don't know who this guy is, but I don't.
Well, that's not a man. That is obviously. This is somebody that's a Judas. Simply put, he is a Judas. He's not a man.
My company now.
He's not a human being. He's a Judas, and you're trying to get back on your feet here, Trey. And I don't know to what degree this is going to work and how smart of a tactic this is, but we see it, and it ain't going to work. Judas has got strength.
This is your guy now? Where was this at all your other events where you didn't care about Trey Mysticality?
You don't care about you.
Oh my God! Seriously, you might need some medical attention. Call ER.
Yeah, that rung my bell. That rung my bell good.
That hurt. Kids, do not try this at home. If I'm the referee, I'm just staying the heck out of the way because Judas is he's on the warpath right now. I mean, certainly Judas, he is snapped. Judas has lost his mind. And he has proved his point that it doesn't matter if it's Big Man Cam, Trey Mysticality, Holden Holloway, or anybody else at ALW. You better not get in his way, because if you do, we saw what happened just now to Big Man Cam and Trey Mysticality, and consider yourself next on the list. And Big Man Cam just certainly needs to be helped up back, and maybe he can certainly get medical attention, and maybe he'll feel a little bit better. But right now, he's got to wonder, what did he do? He's got blood on his hands, but it's his own blood. We'll see if Big Man Cam can certainly be okay in time. Now we see him getting to the back and getting that important medical attention. We'll take this off the screen now, and we'll come back to as we see things have taken place. But you got a chance to relive it. I know people want to talk to you, a lot of comments, but obviously that's got to weigh on your mind. Just like Casey, Judas. I mean, even the kids don't like Judas these days. He's not a man. He's not a human. He's just simply put a Judas.
I mean, I just need better friends, I guess.
Stand-up comedy these days. Hopefully, when I get canceled off Sportswire, that could be my next life. You know, you never know.
I guess I just need better friends. This is two people that I was close
You
with
don't
at
seem
this
to pick
happened.
them. I thought I picked people good, but you seem to pick them really good. I guess not.
Apparently.
Well, let's get to some comments because a lot of people want to say hello, and I want to keep up some links here on the screen. But first of all, let's go down and up the list. Let's say hello to Zilla. Zilla's here almost every time. She's kind of like a bot, maybe not a bot, but she just says hello and says hi to everybody else. Want to say hello to our friends over in XCW in Shelbyville, Indiana. Obviously, Big Man Cam represents XCW, and that's kind of where Judas alluded to greener pastures. I mean, we've seen Big Man Cam and ROBW, XCW have a lot of success. When maybe guys like Judas have a point. Did Big Man Cam leave guys like you, Judas, Holden, Holloway, and everybody else behind? Is that a fair statement to make?
Um, I'd say so. Truthfully, I'd say so.
You do? Why do you say so? Then Judas has a point then. I mean, he did say specifically Big Man Cam, kind of left ALW in the dust.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood your question. I apologize. No. I thought you asked me if I thought you were alluding to the fact that what Judas is saying is nonsense. No, I apologize. No. No, he doesn't have a point. So
why not? Why doesn't he have a point? Because some would say that Big Man Cam went to two, very well established promotions in the yard and the underground, and ALW wants to be there, and Big Man Cam, kept his eye off the prize here in ALW.
Maybe it's just a me take here.
Mm-hmm.
Big Man Cam is making a, no pun intended, a big name for himself.
Right, I'm well aware, but I've interviewed him.
And I respect that. I respect him getting on the grind. He will always be the founder of ALW, and he always is welcome there. Obviously, other people may not like that. Maybe because it's jealousy.
Point is that if he's the founder, wouldn't the founder be so attentive to his comment? Like, I'll give you an example, right? Sportswire Radio, right, is basically something that I created 5.5 years ago. 5.5 years ago, I've withstood a pandemic. I've withstood the closing of sports. I've withstood a lot of different changes. I started out in a conversation on Skype that was recorded on SoundCloud. And yet here we are, right? You see Sportswire today, and it's really nice. It's fancy. It's very well produced. But it wasn't a time that Sportswire was like that. So obviously, it would be almost like me leaving Sportswire Radio when Sportswire Radio was kind of going through COVID, when we were struggling to cover sports, and I was bringing people on just to kind of, just to keep things going. And that's what Judas is alluding to, that if Big Man Cam has founded and created ALW, then why shouldn't he give his 100% focus? Because it seems like he's not giving that 100% focus, according to him, because we see Big Man Cam in XCW. We see him in ROEW. We see him on this platform a few different times. We even hear his name being talked about at places like Summer Bash, which is supposed to be, again, the biggest spectacle in underground and backyard history. But ALW is not giving that 100% attention that he should be giving it, according to Judas.
I mean, speaking of, you mentioned you could put with Summer Bash. I mean, not gonna confirm nor deny anything, but you never know who might show up there.
I understand that's a good point you made, because obviously we know that July 5th to July 7th, it takes place in Bremen, Ohio. And again, I may not know a lot of things, but from my understanding from a geographic standpoint, Marion and Bremen aren't too far from each other, huh?
Not that far from me.
Yeah.
Not that far from me at all. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe you could hitchhike a ride over there, right?
Maybe. We'll see what happens. Maybe.
Maybe are you showing up as a fan? Are you showing up maybe, just this, I hear there's a cattle farm right by there. Maybe you're going to go and maybe learn how to herd cattle. Maybe you're going to go and maybe help raise some chickens. Obviously everybody needs dinner. I'm in New York, right? I'm a city slicker. I wouldn't know anything about that stuff. But in Ohio, it's a very big part of the country in terms of, obviously farming and, giving people an opportunity to work and obviously, eat. And it's always important to eat. I always remember my dad telling me that it was important to eat and always think about the hunters and gatherers because you wouldn't have your meal. And I thought that was a pretty, logical point. And maybe you're going to Summer Bash, but more to go to the cattle farm. Maybe you're just going to stop by and, maybe you'll milk some cows. Maybe you'll, get a chance to pet them. And then while you're at it, maybe just stop in and say hello if Big Man Cam's over there, maybe.
I was gonna say it's not that far from me. Maybe Summer Bash might need a hint at the small town center. Who knows? Who knows what
Well,
happened?
it's a good idea, maybe, because I got a whole bunch of comments. First of all, let me come back to him before I put up something else. CJ Black, now, obviously, you seem to know him. He says, screw you, Trey.
Honestly, some people just don't like me, man. I've never had a
Why
conversation
don't
with
you
this guy.
think they like you? Why don't you think they like you? You don't know?
That's their problem. That's their problem, not mine. I have nothing. I have nothing against CJ Black,
Oh,
but
well,
if
he's
got a
friends with
problem,
Big Man Cam, so shouldn't that mean you'd be friends with CJ Black too? I mean, he's a 7-star superstar. Copper Dragon rated his match 7 stars, and Copper Dragon all of a sudden has put a flood of matches out there. And I think CJ Black's most recent match was rated 6.6 out of 7. And I mean, I would think you'd want to be friends with him, but he doesn't seem to like you. But I would think because you're friends with Big Man Cam that maybe CJ Black would be friends with you too.
maybe, who knows? It just depends. There's a lot of people that don't like. Maybe CJ Black's a Judas fan. That could be it. That could be what's going on here. Maybe he's a
That's
Judas
a good
fan.
question. I wouldn't know that question, but what I will know is that if you'd like to see some design work actually from the small town center, before I come back to some more comments, because of the magic of technology, I actually have it right here. So voila, there you go, small town center.
Yep.
How about that?
Official announcement, making the announcement now. Don't have an exact date, but I will have an exact date here soon. But that shirt is being made and it will be sold. It's my first ever piece of merch. I'm really,
Well,
really
you know what?
excited.
I'm sure I'll buy the merch because I still have to buy a Big Man Cam shirt. And, the running joke is, Trey Mysticality, that all I wear these days is wrestling shirts. I literally have so many wrestling shirts. I could probably donate some to probably, I guess, impoverished children around the world. I'm sure at this point, some people would say, Tom, that's very, very irrational of you saying that. But I'll stick to my shirts for now because I consider my wrestling shirts almost like my work uniform. Because as I'm sure you've seen, I'm on Sportswire Radio just about every single night because I try to give the people what they want, which is figuratively and literally all wrestling matters. As a matter of fact, the people have built the Church of All Wrestling Matters because you know what? Not too bad, Trey Mysticality. 31 people are watching you live right now. Not too bad, right?
That's
31
awesome.
people are out there because that's what we do because the people, they like what's going on here on Sportswire Radio, and I happen to like it because that's why I'm here. But let me get to some more comments. Yes, we say hello to XCW management. Thank you,
Hello,
XCW. For tuning in. We have XCW coverage. As a matter of fact, next weekend, in fact, I'm going to break it here next Sunday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, Julian Void Jacobs is returning to Sportswire Radio. And as a matter of fact, not only is he returning, he's going to go into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So congratulations, Julian Void Jacobs.
Congratulations.
They said Sportswire wouldn't cover XCW. Well, not so fast, my friend. Sportswire Radio always have an open door policy for just about everybody. But Jacob Collins says, don't trust this guy. He will steal donuts from you. Now, let's talk about this shortly for a second. Number one, did you steal donuts? Number two, what kind of donuts? And number three, was it Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts? What exactly can you confirm or talk about when it comes to donuts?
All right. So this is kind of a funny story. So we were heading up to CBW, and it was me, Jacob. It was me, Big Man Cam, Jacob Collins, and somebody else. And we went to a gas station. I don't remember the name of the gas station, and we were getting Dirt Dutchman donuts.
Okay.
And I bought, who I thought somebody else that was with us, I bought them a donut, but it was actually Jacob Collins' donut. But the person I was with didn't want one. So me, I'm kind of a dickhead. I was like, all right, which one do you want? All right, I'm going to eat them both, thinking it was the other person's. And then Jacob Collins goes, that's my donut. And I'm thinking, oh no, I ate Jacob Collins' donut. This is the first time I've ever met this dude in my life. And my first impression with Jacob Collins is stealing the man's donut. So, I've apologized profusely for that incident, and it still gets brought up. It's I've been ribbed about it this for a while. It's
you can't steal somebody's donut.
I did steal somebody's donut.
To steal someone's donut, I mean that's interesting. But speaking of people, I'm sure I hope you meet one day. That is Mr. D'Angelo the Flame. He is the real raw energy. He's the energy of wrestling, and D'Angelo is kind of becoming the newer next Jack Delta, and he says hello. And
hello, D'Angelo.
And I'll let Zilla ask this, but I kind of know the answer. But how long have you been wrestling, and do you have a favorite moment in your career so far, a favorite match?
So I've been wrestling since I was about 13. That was how long I've been doing it. off and on. But if you want to get really technical, last summer is when I really started getting into it. And it's my favorite match. Do you know if they're talking about my favorite wrestling match of all time or a favorite match that I've personally been in?
Favorite match in your career?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Your career.
The last man standing match in Blizzard was fun. The first match with Big Man Cam, I would have to say is my favorite because it put me on the map, and he took care of me.
Yeah.
And Big Man Cam, he's it was a fun match, and it put me on the map. And originally I wasn't going to be in ALW. He messaged me about it before I debuted, and he was like, "You should come do this." And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man, if I can do it. And then I finally bit the bullet and did it, and I was like, you know what? I'm hooked now. I'm addicted to it, and it's been history ever since. It all started Big Man Cam. So I gotta say,
Now,
ALW versus Blizzard, Big Man Cam versus Trey Mysticality.
I could certainly put. There is somebody that wants to say hello from ALW. Now, I know, obviously, I have to ask your permission because it's your show tonight. And I want to make sure, obviously, I don't do anything that certainly offends you, Trey Mysticality. I know you're a small town sinner, and I don't want to certainly get small town sinners wrong because you'll probably steal some of my donuts and do a few different things to me. Would you like me to invite somebody from ALW here onto the chat?
You know what? I'm a gambling man. Absolutely. Let's see who
You're a
this
gambler?
is.
You like to
Let's see
gamble?
who this
I
is.
actually don't gamble, but I'm going to take your word for it because he's back once again, and he is
Big
none
Man
other than the
Cam.
founder of ALW, and I'm sure he's very unhappy with some of the things I said about him, but obviously we are talking about a man that is bigger than Bigfoot. He is Big Man Cam, and Big Man Cam, long time no speak. Well, actually, technically, it's true long time no speak, but how you feeling tonight, and what do you think so far of what Mr. International Champion has had to say? And anything else you might want to add before I run through some comments and put up some funny things or maybe not so funny things up on the screen? Mr. Big Man Cam. Hello, Mr. Big Man Cam. I guess did Judas freeze him? Maybe Judas froze him. Maybe he got the Judas effect.
I'm back.
Did Judas take over your Wi-Fi or did Jacob Collins do it? Did Jacob Collins and Judas tag teaming against you or what?
Both of them, honestly. I did hear what you said, but I forget because I got so mad about my internet.
So I was gonna say you've obviously heard some things, and what brings you here tonight? That's basically the easy question. What brings you here?
I wanted to stop in and say hello and see what was going on.
I'm not arguing with that. You're like 6'14" with like a size 20 size shoe. So yeah, I'm certainly not arguing with that. So I mean, what do you think? Obviously, a lot to digest here at ALW. Judas, we saw put a pounding on you. Jacob Collins took notes, I'm sure.
I can't stand that guy. After what he said today, I don't even want to listen to it again. I just watched it today. I heard everything he had to say. My biggest issue with that whole thing was he knew that I wasn't going to be there and still had the match advertised. He did that to make me look bad, but that's on him. He made himself look like a fool going out there by himself. And like I said, when I attacked him back, all he knows how to do is talk shit. And that's why I said he's worth nothing. And that seems to be a recurring theme with Judas. And he knows I want to shut him up. And that's exactly what we're doing June 30th. We're doing ALW Retribution. And for the first time and the last time, because I can assure you after this match, Judas will never walk again. I'm going to be in that yard with Judas, and we're going to throw down. He decided to get all personal with my family. I tried to say a lot of things about my son and my girlfriend and me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got one question for him. How's your sister doing?
Ooh.
I'm staying out of that one. That's all you guys.
That one, you know. You're a big man. You're bigger than me. So I'm going to certainly say that's on you. That's on you. And Judas, that's, June 30th is actually 12 days from now, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's less than 2 weeks from now. And that's where I guess you're going to get retribution. And you might get so much retribution that Judas might have another permanent vacation, or maybe, who knows, maybe a permanent resting piece after retribution.
That's the goal. That is the ultimate goal.
Now, can I make an announcement here on the show? And I don't know if I should do this. I know a lot of people want to say hello, and we'll get to comments shortly in a second. But I know there was a situation that was that was posted on Instagram. Something happened, and I actually like to make an announcement here for that if I can help in a small way. And if there's anything we can put up to maybe let people know. I know there was a situation with somebody who really needs to be having a permanent resting piece or a permanent, I'd say, place off the map, literally. Took your guys' championship belt. And the reason I bring that up is because obviously that's a very important piece of a golden hardware to this company. And I would like to obviously make my announcement here that I'd like to give a small contribution. I would encourage people to get in touch with you, Big Man Cam, about the situation. And yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that. Is there anything that you would like to talk about with the situation? And hopefully that person is hearing this so we could basically tell them that do not show your face unless you have the championship belt again, or else you're figuratively going to be like that segment on Raw years ago when The Rock threw out the Intercontinental Championship in the water. You'd probably do the same thing to that guy. But, I mean, anything you might want to say toward that?
Well, I did put a little comment on our community page in our town saying that they're more than welcome to come and, defend it.
And I don't think that would be a good idea for that person. I would just give the championship back and say I'm sorry. Maybe give a few extra donuts to make up for Trey stealing some of yours.
Yeah, exactly. Collins, yes, but that's not me. Jacob Collins and I.
Jacob Collins.
No, whoever did that with the belt, like, I'm gonna be so straight with you. You're a piece of shit. Like, why would you do that?
I don't get why
ridiculous.
people do these things. I just don't get why. People put their hard-earned money, their hard-earned effort into these things, and I don't understand why people need to cut corners, and go about these things. But, on a lighter note, Big Man Cam, I know a lot of people want to say, I got some things I'm going to put up, but I got to put up something actually about you, Big Man Cam, as once again, you are proving why you're a TikTok influencer, because this apparently went viral. 24,000 people saw this.
I thought it was cool, so I spoke my mind on it, and I just put it on a picture. I woke up, and I was like, oh, shit. And it's even higher now. I have Sportzwire on my TV, too, so I can read everything.
Oh, lucky you.
But
yeah, I need to check the comments and everything.
Well, I can't read
25,000 views. I mean, this is just crazy. I mean,
it was not. It was here. Real quick that I can show as well. So, with ALW Retribution, we have decided that we're going to try and make it the biggest we've ever had. I'm going to try and advertise it to the community.
Well, we have more coverage next week for ALW. So if you know that this is the place of all wrestling matters, so if there's something I can do throughout the next week, you're here to find me. For sure. You really do.
For sure.
Tom, do you mind if I give a quick shout out real quick? Is that all right?
You can say anything you want. We are live. You can plug anybody, even Judas.
Well, I'm definitely not going to be plugging him. If he wants his clout, he can get his own clout. But I do want to make a shout out to some people in my life that have supported me through this journey.
Absolutely.
Who I appreciate very, very much. Taylor Willier, Brandon Willier, Ava Wade, and Ariana Banks. They have been here for me through this entire journey, and I can't thank them enough. They've come to every ALW show since the beginning of the season. I love you guys. I can't thank you enough for what you guys have done for me in my career. So thank you guys so much for being here.
We want to say hello again to Taylor and Brandon
Willier.
And then who were the other two? Ava right?
Wade and Ariana Banks.
Well, Ava Wade, Ariana Banks, I say hello to you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for obviously supporting Trey and his dreams. And, that's what it's all about. We try to, encourage those to go out there and do things that are positive in behalf of the community. And I believe that All Legendary Wrestling is doing positive things for the community, but it's people like you that's supporting and gives these guys and gals confidence to be able to do the things that they want necessary. So I applaud you, and I hope that more people support All Legendary Wrestling. As a matter of fact, I've actually got a link up here. So if you'd like to hit that sub button for them, I would hope you do that. I'm actually going to make it a lot easier for you guys. I got the YouTube link here, and also you got 3 extra subscribers from me because I own 3 YouTube channels. So your YouTube numbers
awesome.
should
Thank
be
you.
going up. So does that mean I'm a percentage of the subscriber count? But that means that'll change soon because they now have 3 new subscribers in the last week, and let's join them and give them some more subscribers. And that's their link. Very simple, straight and to the point. It's all Legendary Wrestling, and we're here with the founder, Big Man Cam, who's as big as Bigfoot, the national. I got a lot of comments. Let me get to. I'm way behind on him, and 240 with question marks.
Yeah. Is that who I think that is? That's Skylar. I went to school with him. Yeah, I am 240.
How you doing, Skylar? Nice to see you, my friend Skylar. How are you, Skylar?
I look a lot more than 240, but I am 240.
I'm not going to argue with that, so I'm going to just say whatever you say, I'm agreeing. And of course, Big Man Cam hates Jacob Collins, and he says he's not a good person either. After what Judas had to say it Unhinged, I might hate him more, which you pretty much confirmed. The boogeyman of the Midwest, Omen Black, says hello. Obviously, it's his show. We say hello. You could still give Jacob Collins a ballistic missile, and he'd still figure out a way to F that up and not keep me down. So basically what you're telling me is that don't put Jacob Collins in charge of like a nuclear bomb because he'll basically blow up the world. Okay, thank you for confirming.
He managed to do that. He'd find a way to just blow himself up and keep it
going. Well, okay, that's touche. Duly noted. Duly noted. He then says, Jacob Collins, by the way, I've kept you down more than once, Big Man Cam. I'll gladly beat you again. Ooh, I think he's referring to Critically Backyard Wrestling there, but we'll certainly say that never on a level playing field you have it. All that matters is the 1, 2, 3. But didn't you take that championship away from him last I checked? So, and the last I checked, Jacob Collins right now, I mean, he can't wrestle Weekend Warfare. So, I mean, and by the way, did anybody notice that on today's Weekend Warfare that your friend, Mr. Big Man Cam, the good guy CJ Black, looked like he was literally on a battlefield in that poster with him and C Money? I just want to make that clear that didn't look like that. And hello, Taylor. How you doing, Taylor? We love Trey. Trey is our favorite, so Taylor is here. How you doing, Taylor? Thank you for your support. And also Ariana Banks. I think did you mention Ariana, I think? Did you mention?
Yes.
How you doing,
Ariana? That's my lovely girlfriend, Ariana Banks.
Well, Ariane, you are certainly a saint. You should certainly win the note. I'm only kidding. Obviously, Ariane, we want to thank you for tuning in, and obviously, thank you for allowing us to borrow your boyfriend here. And obviously, we know him. We want a shout out. I'll give you a shout out, ladies and gentlemen. Join me in introducing Ava. You like that? You got an introduction there. How about that? There you go. That's what you get here on Sportswire Radio. That's our best friend, Taylor. That's your best friend. Thank you for that. Shout out your biggest supporters. And you sleep at their house. Well, basically, you sleep. I'm going to certainly not say anything about that, but other than...
It made it sound horrible. No, I just spend the night there sometimes. It did make it sound horrible. The way they worded that.
Say that you have some great friends. You have, obviously, we appreciate their support. And I think you can wink now because you were watching and listening to this. Trey is all of that 240, a true hunk of a man. So, boy, you really here tonight, huh?
I don't even want to know who Skibbity Riss is. I don't even know who that is. And I don't even want to know.
Sure? Are you sure? Because it seems like they know you.
They must know me.
Stick out your tonguey. Well, you got more fans than Big Man Cam does, and Big Man Cam's supposed to be this big TikTok influencer that has, all these fans around the world, and you're the one that seems to have the fans, and I think your better half is obviously saying it is. Also, Trey is the best wrestler there, F Judas, so obviously you got
that's
some
for Judas right there. That's for Judas.
That's the bird effect, right? It's the like a butterfly effect. It's the bird effect. Also here. Yes, he's a hunk and his girlfriend is hot. So obviously Taylor also likes your girlfriend. That's really good to hear. We love Trey. And also we have here, I don't know what this is other than thank you for the comment. They're all jealous. That's certainly interesting. We are buying in bulk. Maybe donuts. I don't know.
Maybe I think it's the shirt.
Oh yes, the small town center. Yes. Hello there, D'Angelo LaFlame once again. By the way, I want to give a big warm round of applause to Mr. Hardcore, the legendary Mr. Hardcore, of course, who's going to be here Sunday night, 6 o'clock. He's important because he's kind of one of the, I guess you might want to say, inspirations, one of the godfathers of backyard wrestling as we know it. He, alongside Copper Dragon, obviously everybody knows Copper Dragon, who is the man that rated CJ Black 7 stars, who also has his own TikTok page, which I'm sure a lot of people like Big Man Cam are aware of. And I'm actually a sponsor of it. I actually sponsor Mr. Copper Dragon, all the things he does. And Mr. Hardcore is going to be here Sunday at 6 o'clock. So if you were a student of the game, you were a fan of this sport of wrestling, you better be here with us.
Okay, where is FAPW located?
Georgia.
Georgia. Ooh.
Yes, Georgia. Have you been to Georgia before?
I've driven through it, but I've never
really?
been there.
Really?
I mean, if there's a reason for me to go to Georgia, I'll go to Georgia.
I think there's always a reason to go to Georgia when it comes to the likes of Mr. Hardcore and, some of the legendary GWC days. And they were a part of the legendary Global Backyard Wrestling Network, which really, in many ways, was kind of the inspiration to this All Wrestling Matters movement. So I would think that you would at the very least, want to tune in to hear what Mr. Hardcore has to say in Copper Dragon. And this comment is on business. I'm in the process of setting up the shirt shop. I do have a lot of editing for everyone. We'll announce soon. Thank you, Big Man Cam, for that. Tom looks like Jeff Hardy and CM Punk had a baby in an alley. I would like to say, though, I wouldn't mind having a baby with Becky Lynch or maybe certainly AJ, obviously, AJ Lee, but obviously CM Punk beat me to that. As for Jeff Hardy, well,
AJ Lee's a baddie. Sorry, Ariana, but it's true.
AJ's definitely
Lee's
a baddie. And there was a picture the other day of AJ with like her abs, and she's got more abs than probably Jacob Collins has light bulbs up in the brain there. That was for you, Big Man Cam. I thought you'd like that one. But yeah, Jeff Hardy's definitely had some winners. Leader is another one. But we'll certainly move away from those comments and get to the family-friendly ones. CM Punk is beautiful, and Trey does great trying to follow in his example. You're working on it.
I could never do anything to like CM Punk does, but
you never know. Listen, don't sell yourself short. Never say never. Caps 1K Bark. Now, who do we know that says Bark? Who do we know as Caps 1K?
That sounds familiar. I'd have to think. I'm not too sure. I'm sure.
Bark then.
Maybe a bark. You want to bark?
Shout out the goats for real, and hello to Zona. How you doing, Zona? Do we know who Zona is?
Not off the top of my head, no. It might be somebody I know. Like, I'm bad with like code names and stuff, so like I'm bad with like people's names.
I want to say hello to the Wicked One, Judas. Hey, what's wrong? He is, I believe, the Judas. Actually, not your Judas. He is Judas from the Promo Wrestling Federation, because we were actually live on the Promo Wrestling Federation YouTube page. And hello to you, the Wicked One, Judas. He is.
Oh, there's two Judases. There's two of them.
Yes, this one is from. This one is from.
Piece of shit.
Well, not that one, but if you're on Discord, I could actually add you to our group. We have 60+ members. So if you're actually on Discord out there, I'm at Sportswire Radio. If you send me a friend request, I'll add you to a couple of my groups. So if you're on Mr. Mysticality, if you're on, let's say, Discord, I could certainly add you to my group. And if you are anybody's out there on Discord, I'm at Sportswire Radio. I'm on Twitch at Sportswire Radio. And if you haven't yet, hit the sub button for me on YouTube at Sportswire Radio, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm getting a tattoo, and I'm almost there. I'm about 270 something away. So I'm actually getting there. Judas FU, I'm not 40, so I think Justin had that to say. So how you doing there, Justin? But I want to say hello.
That is our Justin, I believe.
I knew that. I knew that.
I wouldn't consider Skylar a bully. Skylar was always. We weren't super close in high school, but Skylar was always cool to me. I mean, he graduated. He was a senior when I was a freshman, so he graduated in 2020. I graduated 23. So
I'm sorry you graduated high school after COVID. I'm sorry to hear that he graduated high school also during COVID.
Yeah.
What a terrible thing to graduate high school during COVID. I was
just ready to get out of there. That place sucks. I'm so serious. That place sucked. Paris High School.
Well, I hope you're happy here live on Sportswire.
Oh, absolutely.
We certainly, I would like to think the only platform that's had the likes of Dean Allmark and Ledger Shade, if you're a fan of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, considered to be the Hulk Hogan of Backyard Wrestling, until Big Man Cam obviously gets
That's a place I've always wanted to work.
You want to go to Tennessee Backyard Wrestling?
Oh, I'd love to. I would love to. I would do that in a heartbeat.
You would?
I would.
Maybe you and Big Man Cam and you could go down there together. I mean, I know Big Man Cam obviously has heard of Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, and and Mr. Allen, who's the owner and founder of the company, he seems to know who Big Man Cam is. Maybe I can connect you if you like.
I would love to work there at some point. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, how about this company, actually, before I get to some more comments? There's this company called Dark Cryptic Wrestling, which is hosting Summer Bash. And, what do you think about those guys and maybe invading that company? Dark Cron, Matthew Forsaken, and Joe Stone. They seem to be claiming to run roughshod in Ohio. And,
Hey, like I said, you never know what happens at Summer Bash. Maybe or maybe not. I can't confirm nor deny if anything will happen. Just
that's
gotta
the
wait and
best
see.
advice you could actually give, because I'm actually in real life, I'm a notary public, which means like I administer oaths, sign wills, and things like that. And I actually would say it's the best advice I could say. You all are just making Trey's head bigger. Trey is the GOAT. Not the boat, but he's not the boat, but he's the GOAT.
I appreciate that.
Hello, Brandon. Hey, Trey, you were looking so good. I thought this was Trey's Judas. Yeah, it's not. It's a different one. The CM Punk joke wasn't a knock. No, obviously, I didn't mind it. Trust me, I've dealt with a lot more on Sportswire.
Skibidi Riz for the win.
Hello there, Gavin B. Trey, when are you going to rep the comeback on your uniform? Can you tell us what this is?
I work at Kalmbach Feeds. I work at a warehouse over in Cary, Ohio. And there's the running joke. A lot of people know that I'm a wrestler.
Now, can you tell me for the audience? I'm having a lot of fun because I got a lot of people tuned in right now. You have a lot of people that are with us right now. I'm from New York City right now. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and Brooklyn, New York feels like millions of miles away from Cary, Ohio. Can you tell me what it is like in Cary, Ohio for a knucklehead like me from New York City, the city that never sleeps, and specifically from Brooklyn?
Let's see.
What is it like?
I haven't been to Cary a whole lot, but if it's anything like Osiris, it's a lot of meth, a lot of incest, and a lot of stupidity. maybe not the incest part, but there's definitely.
We are live. I don't know if I want to admit that, but so what's Marion, Ohio like? You guys are from Marion. What's Marion like?
I actually live in Bucyrus, Ohio, which is about 30 minutes away from Marion. So Cam's the one that lives in Marion, so that'd be more of a question for him. Bucyrus sucks. It sucks.
Why does it suck for? Why does it suck?
So, I guess saying it would suck is a little bit too harsh. I mean, it has its good perks. It's just a small, little depressing town. There's not much to do here. But it's where I've lived all my life. I've always wanted to live in like a big city. So like anything like Bucyrus, I think Bucyrus only has about, I'd say about 11,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very small town. Very, very small town. That's where the small town comes from.
Wow, 11,000 people.
Yeah.
I think in my neighborhood there's like that.
Yeah. That's funny. Brooklyn, there's probably couple billion.
Brooklyn has, I was in Brooklyn today. I grew up in Brooklyn. I live in Staten Island now, which only has like 500,000 people. Brooklyn has about 2 million, and Staten Island has 500,000. So
only 500,000, he says.
Only 500,000. It's only 500,000. And where I was today, we were driving around. It felt like it was 500,000 people in the 3 hours I saw today. But I was very curious about that, and my apologies. Not comeback. I want a match with Paul. Who wants to match with Paul? Why would Paul?
I don't know who Paul is. Are you talking about Paul Kalmbach?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm asking you guys. I'm having a lot of fun right now. I'm actually having
Paul Kalmbach.
I got 37 people live right now. I mean,
he's the founder of Kalmbach Feeds.
Hello to my buddy Il Drago, who's going to, I think, be here next Thursday for our friends in the IMF, Iowa Midwest Federation Wrestling. They have a thing called Summer Heat, and I know Big Man Cam knows who they are in IMF, and maybe you guys aren't too far from Palo, Iowa. I have no idea, but they have a show coming up. And Big Man Cam, one of your colleagues in XCW is here, Mr. Justin Parsley. And Big Man Cam, I'm sure you heard the good news. XCW coverage next Sunday night. Julian Voy Jacobs, another big man of yours. Good news. Good news.
Hey, quick, while I have you,
yes.
I'm gonna make one quick announcement, and then I'm gonna get off here. So for Retribution, ALW Retribution on June 30th, we are going to be doing. We're going to be meeting up around 3, maybe a little later. We'll be doing that meet and greet. We're going to be selling prints of ourselves. We're going to sign some prints of ourselves. We're going to be selling chips, pop, anything sealed, and most importantly, this is the best thing we got: a piece of ALW history. I know it's a piece of paper, but it's the ALW revival sign, and everyone that participated has signed it. Yes, even that shitbag Judas.
Ooh.
So he's on here. I'm not even going to touch where he signed it. But you can see I signed it right there. Let me see if I can find Trey's. Yep, right there. It looks like it just says team.
Yeah, Trey up. You can tell I wasn't taught cursive very well.
And the good news is that I put your TikTok because your TikTok has actually picked up some extra followers today. So if you want to join with me, 2351.
20 or 30 more over that video.
Yeah, 23 more. Listen, they're halfway to 5,000. You're halfway to joining your Boston ROEW James Taylor of being a paid TikTok influencer. Boy, maybe you'll buy ROEW from James Taylor after that. Maybe you'll buy the company. I'm sure CJ and Jason, your buddies in BYW, would be delighted to hear that.
Oh, they would be delighted, but like I said, everything's all business. Depends on what happens.
I missed the hat today, by the way. You usually have the hat on Sportswire.
I usually do, but I left it in the car. I just haven't.
Oh, I'm not gonna argue with you, sir. But I would listen. I wish I could be there on June 30th for the meet and greet. I would almost pay to be a part of the meet and greet just to say hello and shake hands with the people. I wish I lived near you guys. I really do, because I would love to go there. That's so fun. You guys have a meet and greet. You have fans. That's so cool. This is why I love wrestling, because this is what wrestling does. It brings people together. You have a good time, and there's so much stuff going on in the world and people's lives, and you guys are going to put on a show, and people are going to have a good time. They're watching you. I think that's, to me, this is why we do it on Sportswire. Just before I let you go, Big Man Camp, all people think about is, what Anthony Steele said today, or what James Taylor said, or what we said. But honestly, 80% of what we do is things like this. And, I'm giving a donation. You're going to send me a Facebook pay for $10 afterwards. I'm going to buy a little piece for you guys to go get money toward that belt. And, whatever I can do to help you guys. We have coverage next week for ALW to get more coverage ahead for Retribution. Just a lot of great stuff ahead. And I just want to thank you guys. And obviously you, Big Man Cam, for all you do and your friendship, because I don't want to be like Jacob Collins. So I'll let you go. I don't want to anger you any further. Big Man Cam.
One last thing about ALW, I do want to mention this. If you guys ever stop out, we are 100% live. That's one of the things that differentiate us from most other places. Most other places tend to tape, especially in the underground. The one thing we do is that we are live. We do one take.
Well, I'll tell you what. What time? Can I make an announcement here before I let you go?
Yeah, sure.
You are live now, June 30th. You were live on YouTube?
We don't live stream it. We tape it. Well, the taping is uploaded after the event, but the events
okay. Because I was gonna say then I'll stream you live with you. But okay, well, I'm happy that you do it live in one take, though.
We're working on that, so that way it's up.
You know what? Don't worry about that. Good to see you. I am sure I'll see you again before the 30th. And let's hope that we find that suspect. And until then, we'll raise you some money. And
appreciate it, man. I really do.
And thank you, Big Man Cam. We'll see you soon.
Have fun, y'all.
That was Big Man Cam. We can take this off the screen because we still got some things to talk about with you. And yes, all wrestling matters. I thank you for your support. Cornfield is where you guys are. Cornfields.
Yeah, pretty much.
Field of Dreams. What? And somebody wanted to say that Malo Oos. Yes, we love Malo Oos. Also, I'm looking for backyard work. I'm going to answer that for you. Wicked One Judas. Sunday, 6 o'clock. Mr. Hardcore is in Georgia. He's going to talk about some of that. So that's when you tune in with that. Justin would like to say that he's going to walk away with that ALW title. What do you think about that?
Anything to get off of Holden, truthfully. Holden's a real piece of work, just like Judas. But I'm not.
Now, why has Holden Holloway been such a strong champion for you guys? Why has he been that?
Holden, I will give Holden respect where respect is due. Holden is very good at the little fine-tuning things to make sure he comes out with the championship. The limits that some young wrestlers have that they aren't willing to cross to keep that belt, Holden Holloway does not have those limits. He will do anything and everything to get that title.
Well, that's what a champion does. Anybody that's a champion will do anything to hold on to that championship, and that's what makes him such a champion. And if you want to follow Mr. Mysticality, he's on Instagram, and you got to tell me about Jerry the King Lawler, and what a fine signature there. Speaking of signatures,
so a family friend of ours is a tattoo artist who travels around different conventions, and a few times she's gotten signings from me. She got one for me from Kevin Nash, one from Jerry Lawler, one from the Young Bucks. She actually did. I'm gonna show this right here. She actually did this CM Punk.
Well, that's the one we saw there. I've seen on your TV before. I've seen that.
Yeah, the CM Punk tribute tattoo.
Yep.
right there. Yeah. It's
Very
wonderful.
cool.
She's a wonderful woman. Shout out to Tori. She's great.
Big shout out. We love. That's gonna probably be my future, getting a tattoo, because I'm getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm almost there, actually. But don't worry about me. Give a sub and a follow to the man himself, and the Mysticality. So somebody else is here for you. Another person that you've brought to the table here. We say hello, and my uncle Toby did some wrestling for OWC. Did you know anything about that?
Toby. You talking about Toby Klein? Mr. Insanity Toby Klein? That's the only Toby I'm
OWC?
aware of.
Okay. Well, maybe that'll be the case. Maybe you'll go there and do OWC coverage. And if you want to follow Trey, that's his link. He's on Threads and Instagram. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally. All wrestling matters here on this platform. And we'll be here live coming up tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Let me get to a couple things here first before I move on to some current events in All Legendary Wrestling. YouTube stands for YT. I see your picture is the same on Instagram that you use on YouTube. Just got your follow notification. Thanks for it. So good stuff there. So I think Justin followed. And if you want to follow All Legendary Wrestling, I've had the links up throughout. It's Big Man Cam Show. And Justin Parsley works with Big Man Cam. Have you met Justin Parsley yet? Or did you not meet him? Did you meet him in any of the CBW stuff or anything? Did you meet Justin at all?
I don't believe I have.
Okay. But you've met Jacob Collins, obviously.
Yep,
We're not going to go there with
Collins.
that. Yeah.
Stole his donut. Stole his donut.
Yeah. It means you probably met Jason Storm as well, obviously.
I have not actually. I've heard that name very sorry, tongue-tied. I've heard that name quite a few times. I've never actually met the man in person.
Okay.
I'd love to, though.
I love Jason Storm, a great wrestler, a great talent, and he's back in the ring. And he's, by the way, celebrating a 1-year anniversary with his wife, by the way. Congratulations to him. Happy anniversary to him and
happy anniversary, Jason Storm.
His beautiful wife. And I have some more comments. Andy can take him. Okay. Also, Toby is his uncle.
Okay.
Toby is his uncle.
I think I might know who you're talking about.
Do you know?
Maybe.
And you know who this is then?
Yes, I do. I found out who that was. That was Skyler, my buddy Skyler. That was him.
Oh, wow. You've got a lot of friends, so maybe we'll see some of them coming up next week at Retribution.
Possibly.
Let me ask you a couple of questions before we get to some more current events on today's recent All Legendary Wrestling show. I always ask this question to wrestlers, and what are your goals? And what are your goals here in 2024?
My goals are to make an impact for myself. Fine-tune my moveset is one thing. The biggest thing is to get out of my own head when it comes to wrestling. Every match I have, no matter if I've worked the person 1,000 times or more than once, or I've never worked them in my life before, I get anxiety about it. I have anxiety. I deal with a lot of mental health issues in and outside of the ring, and anxiety is a big part of it. And that's one thing I want to do is not so much cure my anxiety, but make it better pre-match,
Well, that's important to know because I'm sure you're aware of June is actually Men's Mental Health Month actually this week. And one of our wrestlers that comes on the platform who works for Tennessee Backyard Wrestling, Alan Michaels, has actually put a big post about it, as a matter of fact. And he's actually talked about what mental health is, meant to him and stuff. And he had said a few different things that a lot of people were very taken back with. And if you'd obviously like to support him on his journey, he's on Instagram as well. As a matter of fact, I'd like to put his link up here before I come back to some things I'd like to say about you. And that's where he is. And obviously he's the host of the Staying Trendy show. And that's his post. And you can see some of the things he's obviously talking about when it comes to, 988 and obviously all the different things out there. So if you want to support him in mental health awareness, you can actually do that. So I'm going to take this off the screen. I'm going to come back to that and come back to this. So we know your goals, and me versus Tom title match set it up. Well, I'm not a wrestler though. So I'll tell you what I'll give you. I'll give you Sportswire Radio. You could take over in my shoes. A lot of people want to take me off the platform anyway, so you could actually, go about it and do it. Let me get to a couple things, though, in current events. Obviously, Judas was back in TV today. We saw him on Unhinged. And, any other further thoughts on that before I get to the match that took place here today on All Legendary Wrestling TV?
And this is not a knock on anybody who is someone with religious beliefs. I personally am not. However, if you are,
everybody's different. No, all good. There's no judgmental. Even though I'm a reverend, there's no judgmental here on Sportswire.
But to use that to your advantage to not be a good person, I think is wrong, truthfully. So just keep that in mind. I am a firm believer in everyone gets their comeuppance and the truth always prevails. So Judas, you can say whatever you want to say, but I know the truth, and deep down you do too. And so, and you know, how I see it is it's going to be clash of heads. Everyone's going to be divided. The people that have my side, I respect you. I love you. Thank you. The people who are against me and don't know the facts, think what you want, but just leave me alone. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about that. And that goes with life in general. That's just how I feel about it.
If you had final words for him, what would you say to him?
I just wish things could have been different. I wish you didn't become the person you were, but the only person that can save you is you. So, and you come at me, I come back. So, that's how it is. You know, I'm not a tough guy by any means, but anyone that has a problem with me and takes it up with me, that's fine, but expect a response.
For sure, for sure. What does All Legendary Wrestling, being a part of this company, mean to you?
You know, ALW, I will say, is where I got my big break. Wrestling has been something that I've wanted to do almost my entire life, and ALW is one of the most fun I've ever had when it comes to professional wrestling. I love every single bit of it. The fans are great. Whether you boo me, you cheer me. You're
You
telling me
guys
your
actually
opinion.
have an audience, which I think is so fascinating. You actually, I cover a lot of, backyard wrestling companies. Leave aside the underground. The underground's a different ballgame because a lot of them are in an indoor venue, depending on your state and different things. But most backyard companies don't have an audience, and yet you guys have an audience. So when you talk about being booed and cheered, actually, yeah, people actually go to your shows and cheer or boo. I mean, I think that's actually pretty cool.
And I get it. I get why they boo sometimes because I came in as an outsider. And when I first came in, I wasn't the best person, but I realized the error of my ways. And I understand there's some trust that needs to be earned with the ALW audience. And I'm willing to work for that trust because in the end, I want what's best for ALW. And for those who, boo me, and I've tried my best to fix that. And the ones that still boo me, you're the one that was there watching me do what I love to do. So all power to you if you want to boo, but remember who's got the strap.
What does it mean to you to be the international champion, though?
I take so much pride in that championship. I believe it is. I don't believe in mid-card belts. I think every title is just as important as the next. Now, I understand there's levels and there's tiers that stack upon each other with how championships go. But I treat the ALW International Championship as one of my most prized possessions. And I've held it since November. And I hope to continue to have a lengthy title reign and prove to everybody. And everybody who's called me out in ALW, whether it's Jerry or KP, and for those who don't know, June 30th, it's awful ironic that I beat Jerry and then beat KP, and now it's Jerry
and you defeated KP, I believe, last week you wrestled him, and you successfully defended the championship.
Yes, I've defeated them both.
We'll put the link up here shortly for that.
And yeah, so to get to your point, I'm sorry for kind of rambling.
No, we're live. Listen, we're live. Go for
it. I take pride in ALW so much, and especially the International Championship, and I will, no matter what, hate me, love me, I will defend ALW till my last breath. And that championship needs to stay with me. So that's what I have to say about that. And if anyone wants to come take it from me, if you have a problem with how I run things and how I do things in ALW when it comes to the championship, come get it from me. Not going to be easy, but do what you got to do.
Well, you know what? To be champion for that long, to be a champion for over 7 months, that's not easy to do. And obviously, we'll put up the footage here of the match, what we're seeing here last week on TV, where you wrestled KP Mars, and we'll leave that up for a little while as we get into the final other thoughts of the show and we see the match here. And I should ask as we're watching the match, and what were some of the wrestlers you looked up to? What made you want to be a part of this?
CM Punk is my all-time favorite wrestler.
I knew that, obviously. Yep.
Some of my other favorites. It's hard to select. Like, I'm weird with wrestling because, like you say, all wrestling matters. I think wrestling.
I do actually, literally. Yes, I believe in that. I really do.
And I think every style of wrestling has its own perks and all its own great moments.
Absolutely. That's what I believe. I
love hardcore wrestling. I love storyline based wrestling. I love comedy wrestling.
So high flying. Yep.
it's weird because I'm a huge CM Punk fan, but I also love Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I'm a big Bryan Danielson fan. I also love some of the bigger guys like Bronson Reed and Jeff Cobb and even bigger guys back in the day like Bam Bam Bigelow and Vader and
Well,
even some
Vader, I'm sure you're aware of today was the 6-year anniversary of his death, unfortunately. So,
yeah, unfortunately. There's also other guys I'm like the Japanese wise like Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kenta. If you want to go old school. Bruiser Brody, Antonio Inoki.
I hear Bruiser Brody's name mentioned on this platform from time to time.
Mizawa, just guys like that. There's so many wrestlers that I like. It's hard to keep track, but like everybody's style, I watch all sorts of wrestling all the time. Like I have a subscription to Ring of Honor, New Japan, High Spots, Peacock, TNA Plus. Like I have all kinds. Like I watch wrestling all the time.
You should get a sponsorship from some of these people.
It's I think I love all wrestling. Unfortunately, my work schedule, I can't watch as much as I used to, so I try to.
Yeah, it's tough. I got to be honest. There's just so much out there. I mean, I just at this point I'm just watching backyard and underground wrestling. I mean, WWE and AEW, I know what's going on, but I really obviously focused on what you're doing. That's kind of where I have to know what I'm doing, but I do enjoy it more at this level. And the reason I enjoy it more actually at this level is because I meet people like you and obviously your supporters and you see the enthusiasm. You saw wrestling the way it should ought to be. To me, this is where it starts. This is where it's like I played basketball growing up, and in basketball, I used to play on the playground in the schoolyard, and it reminds me many ways of that fire, that energy, and that creativity, and that organic everything. To me, it means so much, and that's why we are all wrestling marriage. We have on. If hardcore wrestling, I have Judge Joe Dredd on Friday. He is a hardcore, legend. I've had on Mikey Anarchy, Jimmy Controversy. If you're a GTS fan, if you've ever watched,
I said that name. I perked up a little bit.
He's a friend of mine, a personal friend of mine, Jimmy Controversy. He messages me every few days. He's a big supporter of my platform. I've interviewed him 3 times. He really believes in what I'm doing. I've had, it's big.
That's awesome. I know that's more of like a dream company. GTS Wrestling.
Yep, I get asked about that all the time. People ask me off the air, can you get me into GTS? I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, Grim knows me, but he doesn't really I don't have that kind of pull. Rad Dad, right now.
I have a lot of work to go before I get somewhere like GTS. I'm just saying it's like a dream promotion. I'd love to work.
You know what? You never know. One of the guys that I just interviewed, Gabe Sayers, was basically just starting out in the yard a little over 2 years ago, and he just wrestled Grim. So you never know. I mean, listen, anything can happen, and there's a lot of happenings in this match. And do you have a dream sponsorship?
Oh, I'm a big gamer, so it'd be cool to have something like that. I'm a big Marvel fan, big comic book fan. I like some anime. I just started getting anime. I don't really know if I have a dream sponsorship for a company, but I have a lot of ideas for gear that I want made that would be kind of cool. But I know being on the platform we are, it's copyright law. It's a little tricky with that kind of stuff. But dream sponsorship, I wish I could answer that question. I don't have a specific brand. There's just several.
Well, I'll answer it for you. I got an easy one for you. Just give me one sponsor. That's an easy one. Give me one. No. I meant just give me one to start. It could be anyone. I meant dream sponsorship. You got to get one to start. Then it'll all kind of sort itself out. Was my point. But I got a maybe good or not so good comment for you. But does this brother think he's gonna make it? You ain't stomping me out like that. We can go WWE style in the yard. You think you know who this person is?
I do not know who that is, and honestly,
yeah,
it just depends. It is. Do you know who that is?
I no, actually, I don't.
Huh. No, never seen that guy.
No,
I mean,
okay.
Say, hey, come to the yard and see what happens.
Now, can I give it? Now, let me get to somebody else in a second. But the Wicked One says he wants Judas versus Judas in the Promo Wrestling Federation. Yeah, I mean, if Judas wants to join the Promo Wrestling Federation, you can actually do that by following me on Discord at Sportzwire Radio. So if you want to join me on Discord, if you want to give me a friend request, join our group. We have 61 members in it. Wicked One Judas, I would love for that. But I actually have a special hello for you. Somebody in the state of Ohio that's not Judas. Can I bring them up to say hello?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
be our friends from Bremen, Ohio, and Mr. Darkron from Dark Cryptic Wrestling, and he says hope all is well, and he misses the days of the backyard. And would you like to say anything to Darkron? Obviously, I know you'd love to be in touch with him. I don't know if you guys have connected yet, but I would love to see fellow Ohioans maybe, become friends, I suppose.
I would like to say for Dark Cryptic Wrestling, what you're doing is amazing, and it's a great thing that you're doing for the wrestling scene, and just makes wrestling better than it already is. And honestly, if the cards are right, I would love to do something with you guys someday. It's great, Like I said, Summer Bash is not that far away from me, so you never know what might happen. But on a real note, though, Dark Cryptic Wrestling, you guys have some good stuff going on, and I enjoy watching it. It's great. I just recently got into it a little bit. It's good stuff. I enjoy it.
Oh, it's very nice. It's very, very kind of you, and I would hope that Mr. Darkron would certainly return the favor, and you guys could, certainly maybe have some chestnuts roasting on an open fire, maybe go on that water slide, and maybe cook some of the cattle by his house, and have a nice old time there. And as certainly KP Mars is making you not have a nice old time there.
No, KP Spears. Oh my God, I feel like
he
I've been sliced in half by a dude. I feel like I've been sliced in half with those things.
It's almost like you are dealing with some cattle there, because he looks like some cattle, and and also he says he'd love to work with you. So there you go. Maybe I made you guys friends. Hopefully, right?
Awesome. Love to hear it.
It looks like also the grass was mown here. Was the grass mowed in this match?
Yeah. So funny thing. Yes, a little funny thing. Not gonna get too much personal details with it because it's not really my story. But the property we wrestle on, one of the members of the LW roster also owns the property.
Oh, how nice!
And so that's what we've been using that property for a while. And it's great. It's a good turnout.
Reminds me when I lived in Greenwich, Connecticut for a summer, and my uncle and aunt had a property that looked like this. Although, admittedly, the house looked a lot more nicer than this because it's Greenwich, Connecticut, but it has the same exact feel of the size of the property. So I just reminded me of that, and I wish that I could have asked my uncle and aunt at the time, could I start a backyard wrestling company? And they probably would have slapped me upside the head. But now, with the funds I have, I'm sure they would have said sure. But that was like a while ago. But you got the win, and obviously KP's upset about it. But you did get a big win, and always good to feel victorious after what you went through with Judas, right?
Yeah, these LW guys are no joke, man. Like, I know I've held the title for so long, but these people, these wrestlers, professional wrestlers, they're the real deal. They lay their shit in, and it's good. You definitely feel it. I always
see it. No, listen, I watch. That's why I like you guys a lot, because I see that rawness, that realism. I see that there's some type of passion there. I always look for that, and I see, to me, some creativity. I'm always a believer in like openness, creativity, collaboration, and that's why I'm very excited to have you guys a part of the rotation on Sportswire Radio, and I'm going to have more coverage next week of ALW. You may have to stay tuned for an announcement on that, and I'm very happy to have you here, and congratulations on the victory. And he says he'd love to work with you. And also, if you're feeling frisky, Summer Bash weekend Sunday is open fight.
Oh, that's good to know, man. Hey, like I said, we'll have to see what happens. Never say never with Trey Mysticality.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I don't put words in people's mouths, but I do want to have a couple of fun words with Damon. I'll come to the yard. I'll tap my MF elbow twice and drop this MF. Nah, just kidding, bro. Huge fan. Maybe we can link.
Hey, man, I no heat, man. I know. Like, let's just say I'm a very, like, it's weird with me. I'm a very, like, I stress out easily, but I'm usually a very passive guy. Like, I'm down to talk to anybody because, like, I know that I still have a long way to go in my professional wrestling career. I'm still very new into it. I appreciate the fans that I do have. It's honestly awesome.
Yeah, I tell you what, you have a great turnout site. I mean, I'll be honest. I do a lot of shows, and you have a lot of people that really enjoy what you do. I think that's what really. I kind of had a feeling with you guys watching some of the stuff and getting to see that fan interaction. But you guys, right here, it's 12:30 at night, and you guys have a lot of people here tuned in. I mean, Sportswire has been on a really a great run the last, month and a half on the platform. But like, have a great turnout here. This is usually I don't get this amount of people on a Tuesday night, but I have 30 people here right now on a Tuesday.
That's
37.
awesome. Thank you everybody for coming out. Like, truthfully, it means a lot to me, man. Anytime, you saw my Instagram, you saw all this stuff. Like, just hit me up if you need anything. You want to talk about anything,
we
just
shared
hit me up,
on
man.
Instagram, Facebook. A lot of people tuned in. I'm really excited about the future with you, and I'd love to have you here anytime. I mean, people are just really they're hungry for wrestling. They want change, and I think that's what we're giving people the platform. This is the only platform. This is the only platform that you get this. There's no other platform that gives you real time, knowledge of the backyard, talks about the underground. This is really the only place you're getting it. That's why we're all Wrestling Matters. And also, I can't leave you without the thought on Joe Hendry in NXT. I can't leave you about that.
So, unfortunately for Big Man Cam, I saw it on Facebook about him posting about it before I actually got to watch it. But that's because I work 2 to 10. So if I would have saw that live, I would have popped. I popped when I saw it. Joe Hendry was awesome. I've been watching. I don't want to sound like a mark here. I've been watching Joe Hendry for a while. I used to watch him. If you remember, What Culture, right? The YouTube wrestling channel, What Culture. Back when they had
I actually have a more tidbit on Joe Hendry that is probably going to be like, wow, I actually know of Joe Hendry from a company called ICW. Why do I know that?
ICW in Scotland?
Because I'm actually friends with somebody that wrestled in that company named Davey Blaze.
Oh, okay. I feel like I've heard that name before.
Oh, he's been on my platform twice. He's kind of basically like the Scottish version of Scott Steiner.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love ICW. I used to watch it a lot when I was younger too. My favorite ICW moment, Joe Hendry's songs are always great. The song about Jack Jester, boom, boom, Jack Jester's in my room, that song. Joe Hendry's Iron Man paint, or when he painted up, like all the body paint and stuff, I love that stuff too. So yeah, ICW is a great company. But I discovered Joe Hendry when WCPW, What Culture Pro Wrestling, was a company.
And Nicholas Crenson, one of our Hall of Famers, who's going to be there in Summer Bash, put WCPW. Yep. Yeah, it's just interesting that TNA has really taken on what we've done here on Sportswire, the open collaboration, and you see TNA and WWE collaborating. I mean, hell must have frozen over, or maybe Joe Hendry put a hit song out there. But what a great weekend for Scottish wrestlers. Obviously, we see with what's going on with obviously Drew McIntyre. We saw that, although he didn't win, but we see Clash at the Castle, Joe Hendry, Nikki Cross, quote unquote, was back with the whole thing with the Monday. I won't go too far into that, but really a great time for European wrestling. And as somebody, I actually started my career covering European wrestling. I started out in the UK. So, it's I have a lot of interesting experiences there. And Darkron says he's personally proud of Joe Hendry. And
I am too.
Do you plan on wrestling in Dayton, Ohio at all?
You know what? It just depends on what the company was and what they wanted me to do. Like, it all depends on, what was going on. I mean, I'll hear anybody out. I'll listen to anybody what they have to say.
And I want to elaborate on Nicholas Crenson's Martin Kirby versus Joe Hendry, because I actually am friends with Martin Kirby on Facebook, and Martin Kirby is I was actually supposed to have interviewed Martin Kirby, but Martin Kirby, who is a legend, he's probably wrestled the most matches of any British independent wrestler in history. He's no joke. Like, he's probably wrestling right now somewhere. He wrestles like 300 matches a year, literally. And he's like the definition of like a professional wrestler in the UK. I've had two. I've had 2 conversations with him. He's literally does not do podcasts because all he does is wrestle. So that's my Martin Kirby story.
I'm a big fan of the Zoidberg elbow. I don't know if he still does that or not, but I love the Zoidberg elbow.
Yes. Also, Damon apparently wrestles off Linden Avenue by the Kroger. Do you know Linden Avenue off Kroger?
In Dayton? I haven't been to Dayton that often. I mean, I'd have to check it out sometime, truthfully.
I think the team is the Flyers, right? Is the Dayton Flyers, right? Is the Dayton Flyers, right?
Possibly. I'm not a huge sports guy, especially with local sports.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sure. I won't ask for sports. I'll move along. But is it a company? He's asking Damon that question, so hopefully that's the question. All right, so let me ask you then, as we're getting toward the end of the show, and if you want to follow All Legendary Wrestling They are on YouTube at All Legendary Wrestling. Retribution will take place next Sunday. I am giving a donation to help the guys get a little bit of money toward the belt. They'll also be raising some money as well that day. So come on down, hang out with the guys. 3 o'clock, they're going to be doing meet and greet, right? Meet and greet before the show, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, sir. Anybody who wants to meet me or Big Man Cam or, anybody really. I'll sign some stuff where I'll take pictures with you, anything you want.
Boy, I should move to Ohio just so I can take a picture with you.
You know what?
Although I tend to think these days, because my Instagram following has gotten so big, that I'm actually getting messages from people that are starting to call me sir. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, yes, I've actually had wrestlers tell me, you have a lot of followers. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to. My Facebook following is like, I think Big Man Cam's number, about like 2,300.
I'd love to meet you in person sometime. I'd love to come up there to New York. I've always wanted to see New York.
If you and Big Man, I tell you what, I'll make a promise, because I'm always a man of promises. If you come to New York City with Big Man Cam, I will personally treat you out for pizza.
Awesome. You know what? Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Find a way. I will personally treat you guys to New York pizza. I guarantee you, I have grown up on New York pizza, and there's nobody that knows New York pizza like I do, because I live on it. And free pictures with us were only
I forgot to mention. Yeah, pictures are totally free. I just want to meet and talk to everybody. I'm not going to charge anybody for pictures. Just the prints of like things. But like, if you have anything else, me personally, if you have anything else you want me to sign, I will sign it, because like I love my fans. I'm not gonna.
It's okay. You can charge me the picture because I can afford it, so you can charge for me the picture. Okay, it's a running joke. Although I think one wrestler said I could buy every backyard fed, but I don't think that would be fair. That would be a monopoly. We don't want to basically buy every fed. He said, "I'm scared of New York. I'm like Brock Lesnar in the manner, but I don't like a lot of people." Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could understand it. Manhattan is not everybody's cup of tea, but I hope, Big Man Cam, I still meet you one day, nevertheless. I hope I meet you and the rest of the guys, and maybe even Judas. Who knows? Maybe Judas will be on Sportswire. I don't know. Maybe stay tuned. You're not going to like that one, but who knows, right?
Listen, man, I have a lot of respect for you, so I'm going to tell you straight up. You put Judas on Sportswire, something's going to happen. Like, there's going to be a bunch of bad what's the
have you watched some of my shows these last month? I've had like things happen with shoots and all these different things, so
unless somebody really pisses me off, I'm not much of a shooter. I tell you,
I would prefer people not to do it, but sometimes we feel like we have to quote unquote lay the law of the land on certain people. I want to leave it at that.
That's not me, man. Like, if that's how you want to go about things, that's fine. But this is not how.
Yeah, no, I understand. There is a segment of people. Some of my supporters say they would prefer just to stick to the positives. Other people, like, we love the attitude. So I get it. Everybody. I think the last few days though have shown that Sportswire doesn't need all that, but it is what it is. Let me get to a couple of comments before we move on. First of all, Nicholas Cranston says he would visit New York, but don't know if he would live there. And a lot of people actually feel that way. I've had 3 of my friends move out of New York because they feel the same way. But let me get to a big plug, because there's one man that I know you definitely know in the backyard, and I'm actually going to make the announcement here because he is coming back to Sportswire Radio. He is coming home. As a matter of fact, he's coming home here, and he's coming home next Friday. He's coming here next Friday. He's going to come here next Friday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right after his match at Weekend Warfare, for where Big Man Cam wrestles for an ROEW. He is wrestling for his ROEW championship against JX, and I am talking about none other than the legendary outsider, Jack Delta. The Jack Delta, the ROEW champion himself, the legendary outsider, the man that has obviously put this sport on his back in so many ways in the backyard and the underground. He is going to be here live next Friday night in prime time, the bright lights of the biggest stage at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time on all Sportswire radio platforms. He and JX had some face-to-face, and I get the feelings people are going to remember June 22nd, ROEW's Weekend Warfare, as just maybe where you're going to see the greatest backyard underground wrestling match in history between Jack Delta and JX. We're going to be talking about it 6 days after the match is unfolded. We're going to talk about that with Jack Delta, plus whatever Jack Delta wants. So if you want to meet Mr. Delta, he's going to be here live in prime time Friday, 11:30 p.m. next Friday here. You better tune in anytime Jack Delta's here. It's an honor. It's a treat. We don't get Mr. Delta here very much. So the fact that he has wanted to return, he wants a microphone. We have certainly cleared the deck. It is Jack Delta. There is only one Jack Delta, even though D'Angelo the Flame is trying to be the next Jack Delta, but there is one Jack Delta, and Jack Delta's, and for my money, about to have the greatest backyard underground wrestling match in history. He's going to talk about that. That's ROEW's Weekend Warfare. Follow ROEW Backyard Wrestling on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Big Man Cam works there, so we can support those that are here also. And
that's another place. That's another place I'd love to work some days. ROEW.
Yeah. Well, I'm friends with the owner of the company, James Tiller. As a matter of fact, I bought the Promo Wrestling Federation from him, so I could certainly get him. In fact, I can give you his telephone number. I could easily put you on the line with Mr. Taylor because obviously that's what we do on Sportswire.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Like I said, I'm done to have a conversation with anybody in ROEW somewhere. I'd love to work. So,
well, good news for you. After we're off the air, I'll make sure that Mr. Taylor hears from me. I will personally give you his information because I'm a nice guy.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I know what people might say sometimes about me. I'm a nice guy, so I will personally give you his information. He'll be delighted to hear from you because he's the owner of the company. So, great stuff there. Thank you for all that. I think we've pretty much covered just about everything I'd like to, except one more question, which I offer you kind of in a softball one. And what do you want to say to everybody that's tuned in tonight? But also as a bonus, what do you want to say to people who have heard about All Legendary Wrestling for the first time and why they should join you guys on this journey and starting next Sunday with Retribution?
Well, firstly, I want to thank everybody who's popped in here tonight. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends, so knowing there's
you got a lot of friends tonight. I tell you what, you got a lot of friends tonight.
Knowing these people that support me, it means the world to me. Thank you all for not only just showing up, but being engaging, asking me questions, things like that. I love it. I've always wanted to do media, so this is like a dream come true for me. And as for the ALW question, I suggest you give it a watch. I know wrestling, it might not be for you, but at least you give it a watch. But I think ALW has a little bit of something for everybody. So if you just tune in, I think you'll enjoy it, truthfully.
You definitely will. And I obviously want people to, before we get to closing thoughts here, support All Legendary Wrestling. You can do that very simply here, simple, straight and to the point. You can check them out and please support them in all the great things that they are doing. And as well,
my Instagram, my DMs are always open. If you want to talk to me, I can give you my number. I can give you my other social media. If anyone wants to talk and chat, just let me know. If you have any questions for me, anything to do with wrestling or anything like that. So you can always, say something to me. So.
Oh, I'm going to put your Instagram up when we get to closing thoughts, but I got the logo here from Wink and a Nod, somebody that was here before. So,
brand new ALW logo for those who noticed. Brand new logo.
And how do you like the fact that we put that all up live? And I do things that nobody else does. I always like to joke, Trey. Sportswire is like going to a concert. I like to say, you're friends with Taylor. It's almost like as important as going to a Taylor Swift concert. I give you the long intro. We put matches on the screen. We have different things come up and pop in, and we have surprises, all different. It's not just a podcast where people ask you about favorite SmackDown match or fantasy booking, or we don't do things like everybody else does. We do it a little different here on Sportswire Radio, and I'd certainly like people to support that logo. And I actually have it here when it comes to all things you can do to support our friends over in All Legendary Wrestling. We'll put you up here one more time on the screen, but it has been an absolute honor to have you, and I could definitely talk with you for hours. And I want to also invite you anytime to Sportswire Radio. You are welcome anytime on this platform, anytime you want to talk anything. It doesn't have to be about All Legendary Wrestling. It could be wrestling in general, life, whatever it is. Anything I can do to support you, I will forever do that here. You're a good man, and Big Man Cam, anybody who's friends with him is definitely a friend of mine. I love looking forward to more All Legendary Wrestling coverage ahead. And I turn it over to you. I pass the baton. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? The floor is yours, and fire away, my friend.
Just likewise, sir. You've been awesome. You've been great. I love doing this interview. Sportswire is great. I want to thank you again for having me on here. I want to thank everybody that showed up tonight, coming out to support me, and everyone that continues to support me. People I went to school with and stuff like that know I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I know I have a long way to go. But where I'm at right now, it can only get up from here. So I'm grateful for this business. I'm privileged to be in this business, and I love every second of it. And I love all my fans and supporters. So just want to say thank you to them.
Well, you got some fans. I'll tell you what, there are guys that come on here and they say they have fans, but you legitimately have fans. I mean, you had a lot of people here still at almost 1 o'clock in the morning. That shows how devoted your friends and supporters and your fans are. So I give you all the kudos in the world. And that's why it truly is Sportswire. There is no other platform like this one. And this is prime time and the brightest lights and the biggest stage. And you have definitely proven that you can be here anytime in prime time. And I'm looking forward to hearing a lot more from you. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from some of the guys in ALW. And it looks like maybe you'll be meeting Mr. Darkron real soon, he says.
Yes, sir. Like you said, never know what happens. Summer bashing ain't that far away, so you never know what's going to
It
happen.
really isn't, actually. It's like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
So really
not
time
far.
flies. I remember when the idea was actually first kicked around a year ago. Now here we are, and it's 2 weeks away, and guys are talking about all the things they're going to do, and it's really fun, and that's what it's about. We've connected people, and we've opened up so many doors, and it's really because of guys like Darkron and Big Man Cam, and we've been able to open those doors. And congratulations on all the success. And maybe if you keep up with the way you're going, maybe in a few months from now, maybe I'll put you in a little Hall of Fame we have here called the Sportswire Radio Hall
That'd
of
be
Fame.
great. That'd be
Maybe you
great.
keep it up,
Honestly, I
you
love
keep
that.
it up. Keep it up. You might be heading toward the stratosphere. So there might be a little cue for what's ahead for you in the future, my friend. So
I appreciate it.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, that was none other than the ALW International Champion, Trey Mysticality. You can see him out there for All Legendary Wrestling. They're on YouTube at All Legendary Wrestling. You can check out their next show, Retribution. It's next Sunday. They'll be filming the show. You want to come out and meet the guys. It starts at 3 o'clock. There'll be free photos. They'll be charging for prints, but there'll also be food and drink and hang out, have a good time, hang out with them. Also, shout outs to Brandon, also shout outs to Ava. Obviously, Ava is an important one. And shout outs to so many other people that were here. Taylor, that was here with us. Ariane, obviously, big for Ariane. Big shout out for Ariane. I better make sure we say, Ariane, you better be spending time with Ariane after this show and making up for that and some. That's why we're going to let you off the air shortly. But my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're on Sportswire Radio, hit that sub button for us. We're on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579. We're on Twitch at Sportswire Radio, X at Thomas Bryce 2017. I'm on Instagram at the Sports Report 2021. So you're welcome to follow me on Instagram. I do have a lot of followers, and I follow back. I also am on Facebook at Sportswire Radio with Tom Bryce. We're also on Discord at Sportswire Radio, so you can pretty much get in touch with me so many ways. I'll be here tomorrow or today, depending where you are, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time with Anthony Steele. And that one won't be, I think, as easygoing as this one, because I think Anthony Steele is going to be shooting, basically. I don't think he's going to be firing blanks, but this one definitely did not fire blanks. It all hit the target and some. Definitely follow Trey Mysticality. That's his Instagram. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. And thank you to everybody who tuned in on the Promo Wrestling Federation YouTube page. We're on YouTube there, Promo Wrestling Federation. Thank you to, obviously, Judas, our Judas. Also, we're at Pride Wrestling Federation on YouTube. So also Instagram, PWF_network. Follow us all there. Thank you, everybody. And I'll see everybody later on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio.